Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. So here's my in-depth analysis for episode 2 of The Walking Dead season 11, titled Akron Part 2. Obviously, this will contain spoilers for the episode, so I hope you guys are all aware of that. Also, I want to do a challenge because we never do challenges like this, but I want to see if we can get to 2,000 likes on this video. It's not often that we do, so I think it would be cool to hit 2,000 on this video. It'd be cool to hit 3,000, but I don't think that would ever happen. So 2,000, can we do that on this video? I think it'd be super cool. So yeah, make sure to hit thumbs up down below. If you do want to hear my commentary for episode 2, it is actually live. If you're a member of the channel anyways, it is live on there. And so if you want to get my commentary tracks and stuff like that for the episode, I invite you to join the channel. But yeah, it is live there. And also a new episode of the podcast is also live. We break down episode 2 in depth. We talk about Candyman. We also talk about the Spider-Man trailer and stuff like that and our hype for that movie. And yeah, the links for those are down below. We're available on Spotify and also on YouTube. It's the Forest Day podcast. But let's jump into my review here for episode 2. I do want to note the parallels here between the Glenn dumpster scene and Maggie going underneath the train car, just because it's hilarious, right? It's the first thing that's going to come to mind, but that is how she escapes. Though I don't know how she escapes this. This makes no sense. How the hell did she escape that? Those walkers are like on her. I don't get how she didn't get bit there. Like, that is insane. But anyway, she survives. Goes under the train car, very similar to Glenn in that situation. Negan is scared after this. Once he drops down there, like, he is scared. He is so scared that people are going to find out. And that's the hilarious thing about it is, like, how did he think it was going to go, right? Doing something like that. How did he think it was going to go? Obviously, people are going to start to question him and think he did something wrong. But I mean, yeah, he's just hoping it's going to go smoothly anyways. I saw this scene here. It's like The Walking Dead knew ahead of time that the milk crate challenge was going to be a thing. I mean, Daryl's thinking about it, right? We see here that Yumiko is talking about the wallet-sized photo of herself. The Commonwealth as well don't know that they attempted to escape, which is a very interesting detail. This lady right here in the Commonwealth armor was actually the one that questioned them in that hallway. But because Yumiko decided to stay back and I guess they went back into the cell here, the Commonwealth had no idea. And I mean, they're a little suspicious, but for the remainder of the episode, they don't seem to really notice anything. So I guess it's totally fine. Daryl does find this family note here, which is a little interesting. And it does kind of speak to a lot of, I guess, the realities of the world. It's these children and I guess them waiting for their parents or waiting for their dad specifically to come back. They wrote that note on that dollar bill. And if you notice, the kids actually have that Velveteen Rabbit bunny. We saw that in last week's episode and Maggie stepped on it, or she picked it up. And I think Daryl might have stepped on it actually. So that may have hinted right there that kid never made it out, which is kind of sad. Yumiko mentions here that the US dollar is their currency at the Commonwealth, which is their way of keeping order, to add that very simple aspect to life or I guess to their previous lives, to entice them into staying here because there's that normalcy there, right? And so the US dollar is their currency, and so they have to strictly control the flow of cash, right? If you think about it, in episode 1, they had X's marked on all that cash, so they couldn't use that. They can't introduce new cash or new money into the system, right? It would start to throw everything off. So they have their own currency system there, which is really interesting. It's the US dollar. And I guess Princess's US dollar is, I guess, technically illegal. It's not allowed in there, though. I have a theory right now that Mercer heard of that, went to go get that dollar because maybe he still had it, and then later on he's going to give it back to her. And I think that's where you can kind of see this connection between the two. That's just an early prediction of mine, but I think that's something that's going to happen later on. Yumiko's brother is a surgeon, which I do find interesting. I do wonder if he's going to be able to perform surgery or anything on Ezekiel to maybe remove the cancer from his neck. I don't know if that's how it would work. I haven't looked into anything regarding how you would treat that, but I do wonder if that's a part of it, and if that's why they introduced the idea that he's a surgeon. Because the fact that they said that he's a surgeon is a little interesting, because he's not going to have the life of a baker. Because originally in the comic, it's Elodie, Michonne's daughter, who is actually a baker. She owns this bakery shop. I think it's Elodie's bakery shop, which we actually do see, or we saw in some of the teaser footage. So we are going to be getting that, but it's just going to be its own thing, like on its own. It's a little nod to the comic, but on the show here, we do see that Tommy is actually a surgeon. So he's going to be living higher up, and Yumiko, she's a lawyer. She's going to join him there too. So we eventually see Maggie show up, and I mean, she is pissed off, punches Negan, and it's because Negan didn't help her. And I like the way that they worded it right away. It was like Negan was saying, well, she slipped. I saw her fall down. I just didn't help her. And he was like, yeah, because I saw that you were going to kill me. I knew you were going to kill me. You're going to kill me soon. So like, why would I help you? That makes no sense. I'm going to risk my ass to help you, which, that totally makes sense. And I know they ended off on a cliffhanger where it seemed like Maggie was in this really crazy situation that what Negan did was very awful, but it kind of makes sense. And when you word it like that, it's like, yeah, Maggie might be a little pissed off about it, but she's going to get it. It's like, yeah, I guess you're a little paranoid. Like, you think I'm going to kill you, which she probably is trying to kill him at some point during this journey, because she wants to keep him alive for now, because she wants him to be able to lead her to certain locations, but we'll talk about that as we get there. Maggie kills Gage, and I'm just saying it straight out. Maggie killed Gage. That's just, it's really plain and simple. She is responsible for killing Gage and everyone in her group too, as well as Gabriel. I would say Negan as well is in that too, but I mean, he was a bit further back. The only one I would say isn't responsible is Alden, because he's the one who was actually trying to help. But Gabriel told him just to stop. Like, Gabriel didn't give a shit. He says a line later on too that was super cold. Like, he was a coward in that body, and like, who gives a shit, basically. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, Gabriel is dark now. He doesn't give a shit. I mean, it's like Maggie too, and I still like Gabriel, him doing that. It's a little different. It wasn't his decision, right? In the end. And so I think that because it came from Maggie originally, that's where I'm just like, I can't believe she did that. And a lot of the story that she tells later on too is shocking. I can't believe they went into detail with something so graphic like that, but it was awesome. I really love the story. It was very dark, and it does show how much Maggie has changed, how much she's seen of the world, and what that's done to her. And I do want to say that Gage's death really reminded me of Noah's death, just in terms of how graphic it was anyways. It was really insane. He got like ripped wide open. And I do want to say the visuals of this scene when Maggie is telling the story, it's very, very incredible. Like, there's a lot of color, and then at certain points she's like very red, but as she goes further and further into the story, that redness sort of starts to faint, and then it goes very like cold looking, very gray, almost like black and gray, like there's no life in her. And so I really think that was, at least visually, that was a little thing that they added to show how much Maggie has changed and just how cold her heart is now, because that's just what she is now. Honestly, I'm pissed off at the character right now. I like Maggie because she's Maggie. I can't ever hate Maggie, but right now, I'm just mad. I'm pissed off at the character. I can't believe she let Gage die. I understand the reasoning there, but I don't know. I think there was a way you could have saved him there. I definitely am really upset about that. It's not like I cared too much about Gage, because he was he was a nothing character, but he's a kid. You don't let people die like that. You just don't. Daryl still has this really awesome weapon here. If you remember, in season 10, he had that weapon during the battle at the hilltop, and he still has it now, so super cool. I mean, it's very useful. So we also see Roy here. He actually makes an appearance, and I have in my notes here, I put Roy bit, ? I don't think he was bit. I originally thought he was bit, and it's possible he still was, but I think he just has a very bad head injury. So yeah, I'll leave it there with that. He also, like, we learned that he has kids, so that's something new about the character. And this is the episode, or I guess last episode was the first episode that we were introduced to him as Roy, because before that, he was just known as the Hilltop Resident. I do want to say, during the whole action scene here with the walkers and stuff trying to get in, I got a lot of Train to Busan vibes. I really did. I wonder if that was a little nod to it, or if they got inspired from that, just because it kind of felt like it a little bit anyways. Maggie also trusts Negan a little bit anyways. She hands over this gun, which shows that she trusts him to not like kill her in that moment and to actually help out in the situation. So there's a lot of hints here as to how these two can be civil towards one another, and that this was definitely a part of that. I thought this was cool during this scene here where they're all killing walkers and stuff. They do a lot of fast cuts, which really reminded me of No Way Out, which was, I wonder if that was a little Easter egg there, or they just thought of doing that again. I thought that was really cool. Daryl's action scene here is probably one of the best action scenes he's had in a very long time. During this scene, as he's going down this train car with gun, and he's just like mowing down all these walkers here. There's like a remix of the Walking Dead theme here. There's some elements of it that they incorporated in the music here, at least in the melody, and I thought it was really cool. It felt very cinematic. It felt like this is what it would look like in an actual movie. Super cool to see Daryl doing that. He throws the grenade in there, kills all those walkers. Very cool shit. I mean, yeah, we were bound to get something like that with Daryl, and I hope there's a lot more to come in this final season. Mercer, this shit right here, this interrogation scene with Mercer was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I really, Mercer at this point now is one of my favorite newer characters anyways. I think in the end, he's probably going to be my favorite character of the newer ones, but he is just so likable, especially in this scene here. He gets a lot of dialogue, way more than episode 1, because in episode 1, you don't get a lot from him, right? It's hard to really read the character, know what he's all about. But in this scene here with Eugene, you do understand he's a leader. He's got to say these things. He's very tough, but he's a good guy. Trust me, he's a good guy. And this scene, I love this scene. But we have Eugene. He mentions Iron Maiden because that was a song that they were singing last season. Him and Stephanie were singing that song. He also mentions that there was a train station and that there's an ice cream shop and stuff. Both locations that we will actually see at the Commonwealth. They do have a train station we saw in the trailer, and they do have an ice cream shop. So we are going to see that. That right there probably gave away to Mercer that like what he's saying is the truth, because they do have that at the Commonwealth, right? But eventually, without giving away their location, they are accepted into the Commonwealth, and yeah, everyone's happy here. Eugene is shocked because everyone's so happy, and that right there kind of hints at what they might know. Obviously, we're going to find out once we do watch them, and I believe it's going to be episode 5 is when we'll see more Commonwealth stuff, but yeah, that was really cool. We do see Stephanie, and this has to be the fake Stephanie, because Margot Bingham is the voice of Stephanie, and I believe she is playing Stephanie in this final season, and so I think my theory on her being the fake Stephanie, and people are laughing at me back then, when I see this now, I'm like, yeah, she is totally not Stephanie at all. Obviously, she's not Margot Bingham. She's just a spy. She's trying to get out as much information as she can from Eugene because they still have to learn about their community. And Mercer kind of knows what's up. Like, Mercer, he heard all that stuff from Eugene. He understands what he was saying, but like he kind of knows that he's holding back on some stuff. So that's why they're doing this to Commonwealth. You know, they're really clever. So I can't wait to see this storyline play out. My prediction is that they're going to sing the Iron Maiden song that they were singing last season, and then she's not going to be able to sing, or she'll try to avoid singing it, and then just like right there, Eugene will be like, "You're not Stephanie. What the hell is this?" And then I think he'll get knocked on the ground and then arrested, and then he's forced to pay his fines for whatever. And then I think later on, eventually we'll get that. I think that's kind of how I see it going anyways as of now. I love this line though from Mercer. He tells you Ezekiel, he's like, "I'm from West Point, asshole." Because last episode Ezekiel was accusing Mercer of being a beat cop, a power tripping cop and stuff. So yeah, I love that. That was pretty funny. We do see Negan giving the gun back to Maggie, which again, this little scene here, it just kind of shows you how civil they can be towards each other. So I do wonder if that hints at what's to come in the next few episodes, because for the remainder of this first part, they are going to be together. They're going to be alone. Maggie does mention that she wants to go to Arbor Hills, a location that we are going to see her go to in episode 3, I believe. And again, I haven't watched episode 3 yet as of recording this video. So if I've watched it and we see them go there, then yeah. But it's a hidden supply depot. I believe Georgie used to go there. And yeah, they want to go there to get some supplies and then go to Meridian. But then we see the Reapers, this insane scene at the end here. The Reapers show up and they kill Roy. Rest in peace, Roy. And they also, with the knife, cut off Cole's hand, and that knife gets stuck inside his leg. That's insane. So yeah, rest in peace, Roy. Rest in peace, Cole's hand. I mean, wow, such a really powerful way to end this episode, and I really love the episode. This episode was so much better than number 1, but episode 1 obviously is still really good. I'm not trying to say that episode 1 was shit or anything like that. I really like that episode. Episode 2 is just that much better. It was such a great start to the season, you know, in terms of this being a 2-part premiere, and I can't wait for episode 3. As of now, I haven't watched it. I'm going to be watching it tonight, and if I've already watched it, I guess by the time this video comes out, my review for episode 3 is already on the channel. So if you are new here and you want my in-depth reviews, because my episode 3 in-depth review will post next Sunday, my in-depth analysis reviews and stuff, those post every single Sunday whenever the episode airs, but my general review, my thoughts after watching it, and they are much more vague. I don't really go too much into detail. I just talk about, like, it's more my reaction to watching it, like the holy shit kind of moments, right? I post those once it airs on AMC Plus. And so, yeah, anyways, actually, if you guys have made it this far in the video, because I did this before, and it was kind of cool to see who actually made it to the end of the video. You guys are awesome. And so if you made it to the end of the video, comment down below. Last time we did I'm the best. This time, say I'm the bestest. We'll do that. If you're new to the channel and you want more Walking Dead content like this, just make sure to be a subscriber. Hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.